Hi folks, and welcome to this Christmas special edition of Philosophy Club. Okay, so this week we're going to look at the Grinch and what makes him have his change of heart, and in doing so try and settle an age-old debate in philosophy: what makes us act? Is it our feelings or our reasons? But first, here's a quick run-through of how the Grinch stole Christmas. Okay, so there's the Grinch. He's a green, fuzzy creature who lives above the town of Whoville, and he really hates Christmas and the Who's from Whoville. Why does the Grinch hate Christmas? Well, the narrator says he doesn't know for sure, but guesses. It could be his head wasn't screwed on right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. So he really hates the Who's of Whoville. You know, you get the idea. Small heart, a lot of resentment going on. Okay, so cut to Christmas, and the Grinch sees all of the Who's of Whoville preparing for Christmas, and it makes him so mad that he comes up with this evil plan to dress as Santa and use his dog Max as the reindeer, and he takes a sleigh, and he packed it up with their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, and tags, and the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. And when he gets to the top of the Mount Crumpet, he listens for the sounds of the Who's of Whoville cry as they wake up and realize that their presents are gone. You know, the type of crying that you might make that if you woke up on New Year's Day and realized that you had to repeat 2020 all over again. That type of crying. So he listens. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound ringing over the snow. It started in low, then started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was very merry. Very. Dismayed, the Grinch looks down at the town to see every Who of Whoville hand in hand singing despite having nothing, despite the Grinch taking everything away from them, and he wonders. It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags, and he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And so the Grinch is overwhelmed by the Who's of Whoville and their spirit and their singing, and his heart grows 3 extra sizes. And he comes down the mountain and he gives everyone their presents back, and he takes part in the festivities, and he learns to love the Who's of Whoville, and, you know, it's happily ever after. They have a lovely Christmas. So what we're going to do today is look at what actually happened to the Grinch at the top of the mountain. He had a radical change of heart, which is sometimes called a metanoia. But what does it actually take to have a change of heart? Something extraordinary. We all change as we get older. Like, say for example, one day you wake up and you're 27 and your back just doesn't stop hurting. Not even for Christmas. But a change of heart might be even harder to come by than back pain. People's minds are very hard to change at the best of times. Just try arguing with your parents. So what happens to the Grinch when he hears the Who's singing? Does the singing change his feelings or his reasons? And relatedly, after this we're going to look at what drives us to act or to change. Is it our feelings or is it our reasons? So we're going to look at 2 possible explanations and ask whether it was his reasons that changed or the Grinch's feelings that changed. So the first argument or explanation might be that he hears the Who's singing, which helps him to realize that the reasons that he had for hating them in the first place were all wrong, and that he had hidden these reasons from himself. Hearing the Who's singing causes him to, like switching on a light bulb, have a change of heart, that the Who's were not who he expected them to be, and that he had gotten them all wrong. He realizes that his reason for being mean and spiteful and jealous of the Who's is no way to be, and that perhaps, like all people, they deserve to live their lives without his mischief and his torment. The Grinch recognizes the Who's as people, and not this kind of idea that he has of them in his head. In this argument, the Grinch's reasons change, and then these reasons decide how he should act. This is how philosopher Immanuel Kant might argue it. He would say that our reasoning, and not our feelings, should decide how we act. In his philosophy, our reasons for acting are detached from our personal feelings and based on what is best, whether we actually enjoy it or not. Which doesn't sound very fun. And then on the flip side of this, the other argument says that the Grinch's feelings made him have a change of heart. He heard the singing of the Who's and it was so beautiful and uplifting that he felt something that he had never felt before. Happiness. And this feeling of happiness, well, he wanted more of it, so he decided he was going to like the Who's. And this is what maybe philosopher David Hume would say. He would say that the Grinch had a change of heart because the singing of the Who's brought him joy, and that we do things that make us happy, so why wouldn't we just keep doing them? What do you think made the Grinch change his mind? Did he realize that his reasoning was all wrong? Or did he feel something new and he just wanted more of that feeling? These questions get to the heart of an age-old debate in philosophy, which is, what drives us to act the way we do? Are humans impulsive creatures driven by our feelings, or are we reasonable, rational people always acting in our best interest and the best interest of others? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's somewhere between the two, or maybe one day we pick from one and another day we pick from another. But what do you think? Regardless, though, there are some lessons in The Grinch that we don't need to debate. The first being that Christmas isn't always about presents. It's about family, friends, community, and being in it together, especially this year, even if we can't physically be together. And the second is that no one is too bad or too evil to have a change of heart and learn from their mistakes and even be forgiven. Okay, so that's it for this year, I guess, in Philosophy Club and our Christmas Philosophy Special. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you most weeks. I hope that you've enjoyed it and learned something from it, and I hope to see you again next year. In the meantime, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and enjoy your break.